Alrighty then. Yeah, I really need an introduction. I have an outro, but I don't have an intro. This is like 54th, third battle or something as well. So you'd think I would like have an intro by now. Oh well. So right off the bat, this battle between me and MT and my opponent, I don't know who they are because it's like random online battles. We weren't actually talking this battle because I think he was somewhere else. He wasn't at his house, so he couldn't talk because of the noise or some shit. So normally we talk on Skype, so it means that actually like planning out battles and that type of shit is like instantaneous. Whereas the only apart from the stop where we're kind of deploying, the only back and forth tactical advice that I got was move your fucking troops or some shit. So he wasn't too happy. But you know, coming from I was watching this battle replay again, and I thought, look, I'm using dwarves. There's nothing I can do other than camp, you know. And looking at these army, right? Yeah, so he has 2 blood knights, which obviously are, you know, high damage troops, but they don't do that much. I mean, even against longbeards, they have a beastie charge bonus and they're really powerful, but they're not that good against longbeards, especially considering I've got cannons and thunderers that can shoot them to shit. His infantry line is just all skeletons other than 2 grave guard, which I'm going to start targeting right from the start other than that shot because it, you know, I didn't actually target right away. He has 2 necromancers, which fair enough are going to replenish his troops, but I mean Ungrim's going to just tear these things to pieces. Then he has a Terrorgeist and a Vampire Lord, which are scary, but and usually if I'm going to play against vampire counts, if I was using vampire counts, I just wouldn't bring any flyers. But I mean, the fact that, you know, MT's experience and he's pretty good with gears and a gash and that type of shit, it's not going to be that big a deal, and the Vampire Lord's going to kick the bucket fairly quickly. So vampires I wasn't scared of, honestly. There wasn't really anything, and even if the Terrorgeist and Vampire Lord gets close, I got Thunderers and Quarrelers, so it's not that big a deal. And then, well, this army is kind of interesting. I mean, 4 Razor Herds. Again, these aren't that big a deal, honestly. I mean, they've got a big charge and they've got anti-infantry and PS and that type of shit, but against Longbeards and Thunderers, it's not going to do that much damage, so you can't really blame us for wanting to camp, mainly because I just wasn't being touched. I mean, this idea, actually, of having zombies in front of Longbeards, I think is a great idea. I'm usually not a huge fan of Ultra Rush versus, or partnered with Ultra Defensive. But in terms of the zombies as meat shields, actually went amazing. So Empty was kind of pissed that I just didn't really move my troops until a little bit later. And you'll see when I start moving, that's when I got, you know, the message of move your troops. Fair enough, but, you know, just based on what I was looking at, I didn't really think I needed to move them, honestly. They couldn't get past my wall, especially with the zombies. I'm just going to shoot them into pieces with arrows and bullets, and then I've got cannons, so... Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue was the fact that we weren't actually talking on Skype. It was, we had 2 messages between us and that was it. So if we were talking on Skype, this battle would have went a hell of a lot smoother, but because it was just, you know, Steam chat, it's going to be a little bit rocky. But honestly, there's no point in the battle where I think, oh no, we're going to lose. You know, it's just pretty... I don't want to say standard. I think I use standard way too often. But, you know, it's just... I wasn't really under that much threat, honestly. Especially when both of the armies I'm going up against are kind of, you know, charged based, in the sense of, you know, you have the Terrorgeist, the Vampire Lords, the Razor Goes, the Chariots, and mitigate charge. So yeah, I don't know. I guess leave it in the comments if you think I was wrong. Although this, I will say, I was definitely wrong. I started shooting the shit out of his bats by accident. I was aiming for his lord. I'm not gonna lie, but I ended up killing half the bats, so that was my fault. Sorry about that. But again, Gears and a Gash is just going to beat the shit out of the Vampire Lord. Although the fact that he has 2 Necromancers is definitely going to help. And you can see I'm trying to push Ungrim through, but just so many bodies. And I mean, as soon as we kill the Necromancers, I mean, these guys have such low morale, and the Grave Guard are not that great. Especially considering I've just been shooting them, that in terms of vampire counts, they really pose no threat to me, honestly. Even the Blood Knights aren't going to do that one. One will do well in terms of, you know, statistical kills. That's because it killed, you know, zombies, and the other one just doesn't do that great, so. And then on this flank, I mean, this wasn't really my flank, this is more Empty's flank, but I mean, again, it's... The only thing that's really that big of a deal is the Razor Goes and the Minotaurs, but it's not, I'm not really that scared of them considering how many missiles I've got, so... As you can see there, one hits the dust, the Vampire Lord gets killed, so These vampire counts are incredibly close to getting killed. I'm pretty sure his Gaze and Nagash from the his load actually just completely missed Empty's general as well. So you know, I just the main reason I didn't move my troops is because I didn't really feel like I needed to. You know, I was in a very defensive, you know, sturdy formation, and you know, fair enough. I get the point that I should have like moved them to help support his zombies and his grave guard to kill the his grave guard quicker, but I mean, that's going to be a pretty difficult grind out fight for the enemy vampires to win, especially after we kill his necromancer. So I don't know, I just didn't really see anything that I needed to move for, you know. So I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it's just, you know, just lazy. But I don't know, I didn't really feel under threat. I mean, these, you know, Blood Knights have lost half of the health almost and got 2 kills. So although the one thing I will say is that this battle that happened here, I would have preferred it if MT actually brought his general into the box, because it would have made my quarrelers, even though the fire in there, I would have turned my quarrelers straight around as soon as I saw him coming in. I would have just shot the Terrorgeist to pieces. Well, not to pieces necessarily, but I would have definitely done a lot of damage. But again, it's because we weren't talking. If we were talking, I would have said, you know, empty, bring your general in so I can shoot the Terrorgeist, but you know, the fact that we weren't talking meant that we just couldn't do it. So really that was the biggest issue with this battle, was the fact that we just weren't talking, and this is the type of shit that happens, you know, when you don't talk. You know, one guy wants one thing to happen, the other guy's doing something else, and it's just, you know. But then again, if you look at the entire line, I mean, that's just vampire cards routing everywhere. So this is where I get the message, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. Don't know why, but I'm gonna do it just for you, just to shut you up. And yeah, I mean, as soon as we get rid of the necromancer, which doesn't take that long, it's gonna be just a pretty easy wrap up game. And again, Blood Knight's 12 kills, missing 12. You know, there's another Blood Knight somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. It's around here somewhere. Or it's just died. One of the two. Yeah, Terrorgeist. I'm surprised at how powerful that Terrorgeist is, especially. Is it just me or all the dragons in this game shit? Like, the only thing shitter than dragons seems to be manticores. Oh well. I'm actually surprised at how easy it was to route these raid scores as well. But again, I mean, there really isn't nothing that I was scared of. I mean, there was Blood Knights, fair enough, they're good, but as soon as the necromancers are dead, they're not that good. Especially considering I've got Ungrim, which, you know, fair enough on Empty's choice. That was his pro tip. I was going to use Thorgrim because I'm just a bigger fan of Thorgrim, but he says it's best to bring Ungrim, so I just brought Ungrim. Got 93 kills, I can't complain. Not to mention he just absolutely tanks the shit out of Blood Knights, so yeah, they're both of them are gone. But I mean, you see, I mean, 16 kills, 90 kills were, you know, zombies, so I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, go herds aren't going to touch. Even, I mean, I would imagine quarrels would probably actually be go herds in a one-on-one, just because these guys have like very little armor piercing. But yeah, the Campy Square officially is broken, and thankfully I managed to you know, help Empty's general escape with the Longbeards. I mean, if Empty got his general killed and I could have saved it by, you know, charging these Longbeards, then he would have been super pissed. So thankfully they actually helped manage to save it. But yeah, I mean, the vampire counts are just going to slowly crumble. The Terrorgeist, I'm surprised it lasts this long. How it lasts this long, I do not know. I mean, all of the infantry's pretty much dead. The cavalry's going down. The only thing that's left is the Terrorgeist, and that's just pissing off Empty's general immensely. So what I should have done is I should have just bared all of my skirmishers on the Terrorgeist, but it kept flying away, so I just couldn't reposition. I was trying to kill the Blood Knights as well, just get rid of them because they were just kind of annoying. It's not going to be until the last like 10 seconds of the game where we'll actually pull off what we should have done right at the start of the game, which is bait the Terrorgeist into the square and eventually kill me. You can see all my skirmishers are starting to kind of turn around whilst my cannons are firing into the melee. And I wouldn't be surprised if a few of these missiles ends up hitting his Manfred, but thankfully he doesn't die. So, and after extreme missile fire, the Terrorgeist is going to bite the dust. So it was a bit shaky, but not really. I mean, I don't think we're in any real danger. I mean, my troops, if you look at the end statistics, I mean, they were hardly touched. Fair enough, most of Empty's army was destroyed, but most of Empty's army was zombies, so yeah, he wasn't too happy about my tactical choice. But I mean, when you only lose 103 men, Can you really complain? I mean, I don't really think we're at any point we're really in danger of losing. I mean, you know, Blood Knights one did well against zombies. The other one didn't really do all that well. Yeah, so I was actually surprised how many kills. I think I'd probably get zombies as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's just if you, like I've said, probably said this 1,000 times. If you're gonna play dual battles, just talk, because otherwise you're gonna be in two mindsets. Even though we won, and it was a Pyrrhic victory, but I think it was mostly because, you know, MT lost a lot of his men because he was on the front lines, whereas I was just kind of sitting back and just supporting, I suppose. If you're in two minds, it usually doesn't go well, but the fact that, you know, they didn't really bring that many tools to deal with how kind of strong my lines were meant that we were just... It was going to be very difficult for us to lose this battle, honestly. It was just... in terms of army choices, I think we were just a little bit too kind of strong in that area. So there you go. I think this is like, what, first battle in 2 days or some shit, so I'm going to have another one after this, because I played another battle after this with my friend Scipio, which was a little bit more action-packed, because Scipio's kind of just new, so we basically just rushed forward, so that was pretty fun. So, laters.